Hello, everybody, by which I mean nobody, because this channel has 0 subscribers at the moment. So, welcome to the Goat Sessions. This is a place where we learn about life. We learn about how to navigate through life. What is life exactly? How do I share this gift of life with other people? And what have you. This is totally improvisational. There's, I didn't plan this at all. Um, Essentially, this is just an introductory episode. I just want to let you get you guys acquainted with the atmosphere, how things are going to sound. You know, no edits, no monetization. This is purely for the internet's benefit, for people's benefit, whatever you guys want to talk about. Um, I'm a young guy, so I don't have the best experience in life and a lot of experience in life, but I can share some of my wisdom on some things, and hopefully this podcast will grow to the point where I can share this knowledge with other people and bring other people on. At the moment, as you can see, this is a solo project because it's in my house. Um, but yeah, pretty much. For today's episode, I want to dive in. I'm lying. Okay, I didn't plan it out. Okay. For today's episode, I want to dive in about feeling tired. We'll go with that. That's probably the best way to phrase that. Feeling tired. And you may say, but bro, what do you mean feeling tired? That's like anything. No, no, no. I mean feeling fatigued, like at work, for example. We'll talk at work. How to combat feelings of fatigue, feelings of just when the nervous system shuts down. How to combat those feelings. I had that today at work. I went to work today, felt groggy. I got a little bit of a pick me up at 12 o'clock due to lunch, and then by 2 or 3 again, I was going through the motions. Here's the thing. When you go to work, one, you can't hype it up. When you go to work, you cannot hype this up to the point where you're going to go out and you're going to seize the day. You can. That's great. But don't go in over your head here. You know? You can't. You get up, you do your job, you come home. But you should be prepared. So if step one is don't hype it up, where you put all your energy in the first mile of the run, and by the next or first K of the run, the next 4K kilometers, you're already out of breath. So how do you still combat feelings of tiredness, even if you do hold in all that stamina? Well, you need to have outlets in life. Feeling tired can be either from too many outlets or too little. And that's true. The too little means you're too lonely. You don't have anyone to really spend time with. You do the same things every day and it feels like a routine. If you hang out with too many people, you feel like you're trying to divide all your time equally among a, a larger network that is impossible to divide equal amounts of time on unless you're only spending an hour on certain things. In that case, you're just a crazy maniac who can plan their schedule well. And I applaud you if you can do that. But regarding the feeling of fatigue, I would say you need to have time management. You can't be sitting in your bed all day swiping on your phone when you wake up and when you go to bed. You be on your phone all the time. You need to know how to manage your time. That's how you get less tired. And I know I hear people in the comments going, caffeine, coffee, that's why we drink it. No, 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 no. I'm not that guy. I'm not a coffee guy. So if you want to drink coffee, that's great. This is not me. Um, but time management is better. But you know what helps for me? After work, I work out. And before work, I eat a little bit of food. Eat a little breakfast. Could be cereal. And immediately when I do that, put some water on my face. Try to wake myself up. Now watch some motivational videos. It doesn't have to be like the craziest stuff. It should just be something like a quote or something or a teaching or a lesson you can learn today and you can apply to other things in life. And I think that's how we should view life, to be honest. I mean, if you really want to combat feeling fatigued, not just at work, but anywhere in life, just find a lesson to learn and share with other people. Then you'll have a goal. When you have a goal, there should be motivation nearby. It's not intrinsic because with every goal doesn't come motivation. You need to harness it. You need to practice it. You need to bring it out by some method or another. So, yeah, regarding the goal, you need to have motivation. That'll get you out of fatigue. Like for example, like it could be It could be something as giving $5 to someone or wishing someone a happy day if you don't really do that often. It could be being there for someone in a hard time. It could be I don't know. It could be making really. It could be, and now in this season, this would make sense. It could be making someone's day in your Christmas. Yeah, remember, there's a lot of people out there who don't have families. They don't have families. They don't have loved ones. They don't have friends. It could just be getting a gift for someone. It could be a gift card. It could be the moon. I don't know. Get a gift. You know. But yeah, feeling fatigued at work. That's a big one, man. I've gotten a lot. The previous week I've gotten that a lot, where I just feel so drained from work. I think people are putting too much into work, first of all. That's part of the overhyping thing. It's just they put so much. So what? Let's get this straight. You put so much into work and what? Just to get a paycheck back? They're not going to pay you any more if you put more work in. So as you're an overachiever, that's great. You want that on your resume. You want that when you go forward in life. That's great. But you can't kill yourself over a job that's not going to compensate you to what you want to be compensated, what you should be compensated for your actions. The accolades are nice. Don't get me wrong. It's just that don't kill yourself at work. Work is not life. I don't care what anyone says to you. I don't care what an entrepreneur says to you. I don't care what a girl boss says to you. I don't care what anyone in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s says to you. Work is not life. It is a means to an end, for sure. That's how we make the money. It's how we bring bacon to the table to feed our proverbial families. But the problem is that we make it all about the work and for no one else. And the worst part about life is that okay, so you work and work and work. Let's say that's the hypothetical. And then what happens? You're going to leave it to someone? Okay. But if you're going to do that, be prepared. They're going to ruin your plans. That's how it is. A mother and a father will trust their will in what is part of that will, the money, right? To be divided equally among the siblings, or if it's just one to the sibling. And you think the sibling's going to use that money in the exact same way that the parents wanted them to? No. People are going to use it for their different needs and different wants. They're going to be different from other people who have different needs and different wants. That's life. So what makes you think that you have all this dream, you have all these dreams, right? And all these wishes you want to come true, through the money, through the work. You get these expensive cars, you get a nice house, you refurbish it, you get this furniture done, you get a girl, you get married, you have kids. I mean, you get everything you want, and then that's it. Like, you gotta remember, there's something more to life than just the material stuff. Now, the getting the girl and the wife thing, I can understand that that's not materialist, but some people just want to get the wife for the wife. That's another video. But yeah, you want to stop feeling tired in life, and you want to stop getting in the same routines. I would say open your eye to that. Open your mind to it, even if that's possible. Do not chase the money and the dream for the sake of the money or the dream. There has to be more. There's a higher purpose. There always is a higher purpose. Whether for you that could be religion, whether for you that's morality in itself or philosophy. For me, it's a combination of all three. But there always is a higher purpose, and you just got to get yourself out of that rut. Remember this. This is probably the best advice I can ever give. And I don't give the best advice. I just say it from the heart. But the opposing force of life is death. Am I not wrong? And what death loves to do is make you think that every day on this planet is ordinary. That every day you wake up and you go to work and you go home to the same family, the same food, same friends, same sky, same trees, same roads, same cars, same TVs, same dogs, same cats. You see, that's what life wants you to think, that everything is ordinary. Far from it. Far from it. Everyone watching this video and everyone not watching this video is special in some way. You have a purpose. I don't know what that is. It's your purpose is centralized and it spreads to things that you like and you hold dear to yourself, whether that be your family, your arts and crafts, you're technologically perceptive. Maybe you're into computers. Maybe you're into music. Maybe you're into business administration. I don't know, mathematics, sciences. Maybe you want to be a doctor, lawyer, physicist. It could be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't even matter the scale. It doesn't matter if you want to become the president or if you want to be a trash man. I don't care who you are. You have a purpose and you serve it well and you will serve it well. You have to tap into that. That's how I get out of feeling tired at work. Now it sounds now the rebuttal I hear is like, well, that sounds way too extreme just to get out of a rut. Yeah, that's the point. The little things in life, the little things like minute details and little quips about the day, like, oh, Cheryl got engaged, or oh, oh, great, Harry got the new position, or oh, cool, mom got bread from the grocery store. Those little things, like these little events that happen in your lives, right? That's it's not enough. Oh, good, I got an email from so and so regarding this, or I got the new job offer. Then the next day feels the same regardless because you're still working at your old job. You can't these little things are not enough. You need to think about this on a bigger perspective. Okay, Harry got the job. What does that mean for us, for my crew and I? Maybe we'll get raises, or maybe regarding the new job position, maybe they pay more. Maybe that'll get me in near my school. Maybe that can pay for my college degree. Okay, what about the food that mom got? Maybe I can use that to make a lunch this weekend and then give it also to my friends and be generous. You have to think on a bigger level here. Everything is bigger than it seems. It sounds like a broken record. I know it. I know I am. I am a broken record. I'm the finest broken record of all because I'm a guy living in a dark world. So we're all broken records to some extent. I know we are. But yeah, reeling in the topic again of how to combat fatigue, not only in the workplace, but in life in general. I would also say it depends on what your fatigue is based on. It really does. It could be fatigue from being with too many people. Maybe you bridge your life out too much, and you're devoting and you're splitting your time between too many people. Or maybe you're not splitting your time enough. Maybe you're just focusing on one thing. It could be work. It could just be fatigue itself, just sitting in bed all day, not doing anything. It could just be video games. I don't know where you are in life. I can tell you one thing. It's about time management. It really is, man. And I hate to say it again and again, but I wish I would have learned at a younger age how to manage my time. It's crucial. It forms you. It forms you into a better character. It really does. And I know the fellas out there are going to say, yeah, you got to have better time management because the ladies love time. Let's not talk about the ladies right now. And ladies, let's not talk about the men. Both parties stop talking about each other. Focus on yourself right now. This is not, if you're in a time like that where you feel like you're always fatigued, you know what's not going to help? Finding the person to have a relationship with. No. You need to calm down. You need to assess the playing field and say, what can I do to make this more adequate? What is more profitable? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? You know, every day you should come up out of bed and say thanks. Just say, I'm thankful for what it may be. Take a nice cold shower in the morning too. I didn't put that in there before, but that's good. A nice cold shower. That'll wake you up, man. Shocks your nervous system and everything. It's really good. It burns. It burns like hell in the good way. You know, that's fun. That's ironic. Cold water burns. Huh? But yeah, that's cold showers are good. Be thankful. Say that out loud. That's another thing. You need to vocalize it. It's not just in your head. You intrinsically know that you're thankful for XYZ. You know, you should say that. You should say that to your spouse. You should say that to your family, your coworkers. I don't know, to a religious figure if you practice religion. That should be your motivation, man. Because once you that is the antidote. It really is. Now that I think about it, the antidote to a lot of a lot of this fatigue and tiredness and drowsiness in life is just seeing the bigger picture. It really is. Now, I know there are people out there who they see the bigger picture, right? They see the global effect of it. That you could change the world. You really can. It sounds like a Disney quote, like something from Pixar. Like some kid would say to, like some mother would say to the kid, like, "Oh my God, you can change the world, Timmy." But the mom's not wrong. Now the way she's conveying it, that's wrong because you're saying it like he's gonna do it in like a day, and that it's easy. It's not easy to change the world. In fact, you have to change yourself before you have to change the world. That's how it works, man. In the current state you are, you will never be able to change the world. You know how you could change something? By continually changing with it. That's it. That's how you make a change. We're not an we're not an all father, we're not a God. We're not some type of spiritual being where we stay constant, we can change things. No, we're always changing, and therefore you cannot be stagnant and change other things. That means you're dead. You're like a root that has no water going to it. You're a lifeless dead tree. You need to have a source of flow. You need to have some flow going through the veins of that tree in order to produce fruit. And that fruit people will eat, and then they'll love it. Then they'll tell everyone else about that fruit, and then go to your tree. And then what do you know it? There's a bunch of your trees everywhere. That's how you change the world, man. That's how you change it. But yeah, how to combat fatigue. I don't got much on that one, man. I think I covered mostly what I wanted to for an introductory episode. What have you. Yeah. And I did cover a lot of other topics. I don't mind going into those in another episode. But yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Also, rate the fit. Hold up. Went to work today. Looking like a gangster. No. Looking like an absolute legend. That's another thing. Don't be afraid to puff yourself up a little bit. You've been if you're watching this and you're in your feelings right now, you've been through a rough patch. Maybe not a patch. Maybe decades. I'll be I'll get serious now. A lot of you guys have been through you've been through the gauntlet. Been through the crucible and a half. And you made it out and you're here. You're here today. I applaud you. I really do. Because there's not a lot of people who can do the stuff that you do. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't done a lot of stuff and you feel pumped, don't be so pumped. Go through the ringer. Go through it a little bit. It trains you. Like molten lava on the skin. It hardens you. Hardens you like stone, man. Like iron. However, to the people who I am speaking to, who've been through it, don't give up. I know you feel tired. We all do. That's how it is. Stressing. Life can hit us with curveballs. We don't know what to expect. But it's a beautiful thing. Life is beautiful. I used to think it wasn't. I used to think it was unfair. But in its tragedy, there is beauty. Because there's no way we would appreciate the life that we have if we were to live forever. Let's be honest with that. Let's be honest with that truth that, like they say, you don't know what you have until it's gone. And that's the same thing with life. Makes you appreciate everything. Because it is unknown what's on the other side, people. It is unknown. Every religion has its own theory, its own view. And even people who don't have a religion have their own view of what's going to happen. Like, we don't know. This is it, guys. What we see of the human race in the form that we know now, in the year 2023 and onward, this is it. You're not going to see another human being after you die, likely. You're not going to see the world as it is, at least. It's not going to be like the exact same. Something's going to change. That's why death is the way to new life, somehow. And if you think all there is And if you think all there is death and then that's it, then that's a new life unto death that becomes death. It's some type of rebirth, you know? But we just don't know what type of rebirth. And that's the scary part, the unknown. The unknown is scary. And see, now talking about that, that's the funniest part. Then people would be like, so how do you even get tired at work? You're thinking all these crazy thoughts. I do. I'm susceptible to everyone else. I'm not any different. You're not either. There's probably a lot of people who think existentially like that, and yet they still get tired because the weight of the world is on their shoulders, literally, because they're thinking about things that take higher precedence than themselves. And then there are people who don't think about the world at all and still feel tired. Those are those are two different remedies to get to a same solution. For the people who don't care much about the world, they don't think like that, and they think very self-centeredly. I understand. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, you got to look out for number one, and that's you. How are you going to be giving to other people if you're not there to to give? You need to, or you're not able to give. You have to be in a not only a stable financial position, emotional position, mental position, physical position, whatever it may be to deliver a service of whatever sort. So yeah, for those people who don't think about the world like that, who think very minute and very self-centered, or they think on a smaller scale. Let's say that so it doesn't sound rude. For those people, I would say open up your mind to other how other people live. Do your research. See how other people live on the side of the globe. It's scary, man. We have it so good here. We really do, man. It really is. It's terrifying to even think about. And for the people who think existentially like I do, there needs to come a time when those thoughts need to come to rest. A thought cannot trail on forever in your head and then you expect to stay stable. No, that's obsessed. Do not become obsessed with your thoughts. When you go to bed, decompress. Take everything out of your mind. Take your worries of today and tomorrow, especially tomorrow, because tomorrow's not today. Let that be tomorrow's stress. Let that be tomorrow's work. You will touch that tomorrow. Now, I never said don't plan for it, but don't kill yourself over it. It's not worth it. You're not even there. You don't even know what future you is going to do. You just gotta stay here in the present. You're going to lose sight of it. If you're always focused on the future and what's going to happen, you're going to get more stressed. You're going to get tired and you're going to miss out, man. You're going to miss out on so many opportunities in life. And if you're always in the past, you don't even know what the future holds because you think the past is the future because the past determines everything, and that's false. History does repeat itself. I'm not going to lie. It does. Very suspiciously, it repeats itself. But it's not destined to repeat itself. You have a choice. You have freedom to enact whatever you have to enact whatever you have to do to stop that cycle. So now we get to the root of the problem is that all this fatigue is essentially built up on a crux of the issue. Is back to the original point, living a repetitive life. You don't want to end up like other people. You want to go online and you're not reaching it and you're getting tired of it, or you feel like you're in a dead end place where you can't get out. Well, if you're in a hole and you can't get out of that hole, then my friend, I suggest you start climbing. Because if you don't put any effort in climbing at all, you might as well die in that hole. You need to scurry out of there. You need to find whatever way you can get out of there. It's the only way. Personally, if I knew I was at a dead end place, I'd do whatever I can to get out. I don't care. I'd try anything. You know? I'd rather die trying than live. That's an extreme. It's not a situation where you're gonna die. But it's metaphorically speaking. I'd rather die trying than live. If I gotta get out of a rut and do something, I'm gonna do something drastic to get out of it. I'm not gonna do these little baby steps. No, cold turkey. Let's go. We're going for it, you know. And the bros understand me on that one because guys think crazy. They're like, I got to do something, do the most craziest thing ever. That's hilarious, man. We are crazy, man. We're definitely crazy. But yeah, that's some advice on overcoming fatigue in life. Definitely is. Now, what I didn't touch on is the physical type of fatigue. Like, I mean, like if it's a chronic condition like chronic fatigue syndrome or was it myalgic encephalomyelitis? That's ME. If you have that, well, it's a physical disability. That doesn't mean you can't do anything about it, though. Remember, in healthcare, we diagnose a disability as it is, right? But that doesn't mean that there's no way to treat it. Just because, and that's a lot of things in life. Let's take it from a metaphorical perspective. Let's say you're diagnosed with something. We're all diagnosed with something nowadays, right? That I'm not talking about medically. I'm talking about metaphorically. Like you're angry, you're sick, like you're like a sick bastard in a sense, right? You're sad, you're happy all the time, you're joyful. People diagnose you certain things. He's a happy type of person. He's an angry type of person. He's very judgmental. Uh, they act like a class clown, things like that. People just, and that's a stereotype, also at the same time. Then they look at you, they think, okay, he's this type of caricature. Now, let's say they give you something horrible, right? You're an angry type of person, something you need to work on, right? You're sad all the time, very pessimistic. You're, um, you're frustrated. That's better than angry. I think frustrated would be better. It's more applicable. You're disgusted with everything. Um, you're fearful. You're anxious, right? That doesn't mean that there's no way to treat those things. Maybe you're just exhausted from being that person your whole life and you want to change that. My friend, there are ways to change that, but you have to put in the work. So just because you receive the diagnosis doesn't mean that you can't treat it. And if no one's going to help you, then you do it yourself. Because then in the end, that's unfortunate, but in the end, that's all you got. Not a lot of people. A lot of people like to believe all their friends and all their family are going to be there at the end. No, it's not true. Not a lot of people are even going to be there during life. In your 20s, you think your friends are going to be there with you forever. They might not make it past 30. They might go their own ways. That's why you got to enjoy what you have now. Enjoy the times you have now. Never said don't make friends. You can make friends all you want. Just make the right ones. Make ones who stick around you, who build you up, and you build them up. That's who you want. And all of these things ease that fatigue. You think about this in a really critical way, and you realize that you have a chance. You do. Once you realize you have a chance to make your mark, I think that's the fatigue comes out, man. It really does. It could just be me. Remember, this is all subjective. The GOAT sessions, I don't mean for much of this to be objective. This is just personally my experience. I'm spitballing here. I'm throwing darts against the wall and seeing what will land. But yeah, you know. And I challenge you. I think I might do this every episode. I challenge you in your life. What are some areas you've been lacking in? Think about that critically. What are some areas you've been lacking in? And then work on those areas using methods that you've known to work in the past, or maybe you need to take a drastic step and just go for it. Nothing like a radical change. People won't even recognize you. Hopefully for good reasons. Hopefully for good reasons. But yeah, find an area of your life that you need to work on. And I don't know. What's always good is keep a journal of it. Write down your progress of it, so that every time you go to the journal, you see you see with your eyes, man, visually what the progress looks like. Right? If it's something emotional or something immoral or something that regards conscious thinking, like you have a default in your thinking, like you're very pessimistic, you're too optimistic. You see the world as barren, you see the world as rainbows and sunshine. Um, I would encourage you to write that stuff down because you can't really see the change in that. You can't really witness it. It's not like muscles when you go to the gym. Not like that at all. People can see it in you because you act different around them, but you'll never be able to see it yourself unless you write it down. You know, you can look in your own mirror as you talk to yourself like a crazy person, it still won't come out. Sometimes we are just sometimes we're cursed to help others, to where am I going with that? Actually, no, yeah, I'm going on there. Yeah, so that what is it? Sometimes we're cursed to help others and provide them great advice, but yet not having the same elixir that we're using to give them. That's how it is in life. And some of these things, like you may work on yourself, you may not even notice it because unfortunately we are masked. We cannot see the fruits of our own labor. Only other people can. And the only way you could really see the fruits of your own labor is to write it down. You need to remind yourself constantly. It is interesting that mankind was born with the innate flaw of not being able to see their own growth, individual growth. I mean, the only way you could see it is you'd have to have a timesheet. That's why people look at their lives and in retrospect, they see how far they've come. Or that's why the notebook thing works, is you see it. There's evidence of it. But if we don't see it, then we just don't think it's there, and it could be there over years of experience. Hell, look at you today. You've made it here. That's years of experience. You don't even think about. Your cells have progressively grown and died in just matters of milliseconds for X amount of years. And here you are today. So I'm done rambling. That'll be all for today. So just wanted to give some thoughts on how to combat fatigue, more on an existential level. But I gave you some tools on how to combat it, not just with motivation in the morning, cold showers, form social connections, maybe even start a trade. Go find a hobby. Go do something new. It refreshes you. It wakes you up. And then at the same time, so you don't keep finding new things in order to satisfy you. Remember what you've gone through, and be thankful for it. Every time when you get up, say thanks. Every time. Tomorrow is not promised. So every time when you wake up, give thanks. Whoever it is, it could be. And when you say give thanks, it sounds like a religious connotation. Like you say thanks to God. It could be anyone. Thank you, mom. Thank you, dad. Thank you, employer. Thank you, friend. It could be anyone now. And I think that's the joyous part of life, because even in those tragedies, there are always outlets for you to succeed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. There's always something. All right, ladies and gents, that'll conclude today's episode of the podcast. Like and subscribe. It's up to you. I don't mind if you do or you don't. This is a place where you can come and go, ebb and flow like spirits in the afterlife, and you can see my content if you want. I'll be posting this stuff. I don't know if on the regular, but I try to do on the regular. It's nice. It's a good outlet. It's good for me too. And there's the self-centered part of me. But yeah, it's good for me, and hopefully it's good for all of you guys. I want to give you guys good content, and like an old 2008 YouTube style video. Not the best quality or microphone quality. As you see, I don't have a microphone. I'm just talking to a computer. But yeah, those are the days, man. Early YouTube, unbeatable, peak, easily peak. Actually, to be honest, 2012 and 2016 was peak. Um, but yeah, man, I'll probably come up with a name for the audience, for the comments and everything like that, for the subscribers, And then I'll probably come up with a slogan. Oh, it sounds so cringe, though. It does sound so cringe. But you know what? I'll call you guys the goats. You guys need it. You guys need to be called the goats. This should be the goat community. Yeah. Oh, that goes hard. Okay. That's this should be called the goat community. And I'll be a fellow goat. I won't be any different from you guys. My fellow goats. See, that sounds better because we're sounds on a level playing field. Not my goats, my fellow goats. Woo. Now keep this in. No edits. Just keep this in. Have a great night, y'all, or day, or wherever. Noon. afternoon, morning. Hmm. Okay. I was trying to see if I could get more times of the day in there. So yeah, we got night, morning, noon, afternoon, evening. Have a good evening. Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Okay. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. All right, guys. Have a great day, and remember, think about think about what I said. It's really the generosity of life that makes you feel less fatigued, and don't expect to get that in return from other people, obviously, because people aren't going to reciprocate. They're not going to be thinking of what you gave to them on the magnitude, and then reciprocate with that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to understand the steps that it took for you to do that. Whether you watched this video or you saw something else, and it allowed you to be generous or change your life, and people see that, they're not going to know what you went through, and that's good. That's a good thing. You don't got to tell them everything because it's a process at the end of the day. I can't give you all the answers. That's for you. That is for you at the end of the day. So I bid you farewell. Have a good day/night and kill it out there, my fellow goats. Mm-hmm.